You know what breaks most traders? It's not bad luck. It's not the market turning against them. It's the belief that with enough tweaking and fiddling with your strategy, you can make losing impossible, or you can make losing obsolete. Hello, my amazing followers. I am starting an 11-day series of the 11 golden rules of a highly profitable trading mindset. And this is the very first rule. Control what you can, let go of the rest. The market movement is outside your control, so obsessing over it wastes energy. Every trader takes a loss, and they think one adjustment is all they need until they're perfect, until they have that perfect strategy. A slightly tighter stop, another indicator, maybe even a different time frame. But the moment a trade fails, they go straight into repair mode. They start dissecting, optimizing, rewriting rules that never needed to be rewritten. And that's how they lose the very thing that made their system work in the first place. What used to be clear is now complicated. That setup that once felt simple now has 10 filters and absolutely no soul. And the confidence that came from that repetition of that same strategy gets buried under hesitation because every new tweak feels like they're making progress, but it's really fear. It's the fear of not being in control. And that's kind of the irony of it all. Because the more you try to control the market, the more you try to control your results or your outcome, the less control you actually have. Every single system that you will ever trade has losses baked into its DNA. But most traders can't accept that. They see a single losing trade as a personal failure, when it's really just probability doing its job. And the market isn't a machine that you can fine-tune into submission. It's like weather. It's shifting, unpredictable. It's alive. And you don't master it by trying to stop the rain. You just learn to stand in it without flinching. And that's why real control isn't about changing your system every time you get punched. It's about holding steady when it does, when it hits you hard. It's the ability to say, the setup lost, but the system still works. It's knowing the difference between a bad trade and a bad plan, and trusting your data enough to leave the plan alone. Because when you rebuild your entire approach after every single loss, you never let your edge breathe. You never give it time to prove itself. You keep uprooting it before it has a chance to grow some roots. And that's how traders lose. Not because they're making one giant mistake, but from 1,000 small ones that they disguise as improvements. The market rewards consistency, not cleverness. And your edge is going to come from doing the same thing well over and over throughout the mess and temptation to tinker. So control what you can. Let go of the rest. Accept that some trades will hurt, some will fail, some will remind you that the outcome was never yours to own. And when you stop trying to perfect what was never broken, you'll find what every profitable trader eventually finds. That peace that comes from precision, the strength that comes from restraint, and the confidence that comes from knowing that losing is part of winning. And that's the first golden rule. Not control over the market, control over yourself. Now imagine this. You go for a coffee every morning, you sit down, and a kind old stranger gives you one piece of trading mindset advice. Something so simple, so clear, that it keeps you from ever making another mistake again. Would that be worth the price of that coffee every day? Because I'm about to release something very similar to that. I realized since I started this YouTube, from commenting or answering your guys' comments, from getting your guys' emails, and just talking to as many of you as I can, you guys don't really need to improve your strategy. You need to improve your accountability. You need a way to stay true to your rules, to build your mindset into a brick wall that no emotion can break through. So I want to know, is that worth the price of coffee each day to never break a rule or blow an account again? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on Rule 2.